I don't say this now, I will.
My name is Jeremy, and I'm a 21-year-old senior. I'm just so scared of social situations, and it's really hard dealing with the large amount of students here at school. Every time I come around a large group, I get these feelings. I understand that this is affecting my life, but I just don't know what to do.
My name is Elise, and I am Jeremy's roommate. I've been knowing Jeremy for about 4 years now, and we've been living together for about 2.5 years. I first met him during an introduction to psychology course, and although the class was extremely large, he was just sitting all by himself. I felt sorry for him and I sparked a conversation. Soon after, I realized that I was his only friend, and I just felt this obligation to look out for him. Now that we live together, I noticed that he skips classes. He will even skip meals just because he doesn't want to be around a large amount of people. I'm just so concerned. I'm not sure how he's going to cope in the real world. He really needs help.
My name's Dr. Janet Smith, and I'm a counseling psychologist. Normally I work from a person-centered approach, and this is really an attitude that I take towards my clients.
Person-centered therapy was founded by Carl Rogers, who stated that the individual has within him or herself vast resources for self-understanding, for altering his or her self-concept, attitudes, and self-directed behavior, and that these resources can be tapped if only a definable climate of facilitative psychological attitudes can be provided. To create this climate, the therapist should embody 3 qualities. 1, congruence or genuineness, in which the therapist is openly being him or herself in the relationship, being real with the client. 2, empathic understanding, in which the therapist senses accurately the feelings and personal meanings that the client experiences and communicates this to the client. And 3, unconditional positive regard, which creates a climate of unconditional acceptance within the relationship. This is how I approach therapy.
Hi, Jeremy. Whatever you'd like to talk about today to help me to get to know you better, I'd love to hear.
Okay, where do you want me to start?
Wherever you'd like to start is fine.
Well, my roommate is the one that wanted me to come here today.
Your roommate wanted you to come in?
I guess she's been worried about me. I probably wouldn't be here if she hadn't wanted me to come here.
So am I getting this right, that you didn't really want to come in here today?
Yeah, but I guess I've been having problems.
There are some things you've been struggling with?
Yeah, I don't know, I tried talking about this with someone before, but I just couldn't.
It seems like you feel overwhelmed when you think about these things that you've been struggling with. Like, I know there's something wrong, but I can't quite put it into words. Is that right?
Yeah, I just don't know. I don't really like to think about it, so that's part of the reason why I didn't want to come here today, but my roommate insisted.
It's really difficult talking about these things.
Yeah.
Well, I was wondering if you might try something with me. All you have to do first is just sit there and really try to relax, and then pay attention to what's going on in your body internally, any sort of feelings that come up in different parts of your body. Do you think you'd like to do that?
Yeah, I could try.
And then maybe you could ask yourself the question, what's going on in my life right now? And consider one problem in particular, and just think about that problem. And really pay attention to what's going on internally, and really pay attention to any sort of sensations that you're having inside your body.
Okay. Well, I guess the problem I have right now is that I didn't really want to be here. And I guess what I'm feeling right now is this intense pressure in my chest, like this heavy weight that is making it kind of difficult for me to breathe sometimes.
So when you think about the problem of how you didn't want to come in here today, but your roommate insisted. It feels like there's pressure on your chest.
Yeah, like, I guess bricks, maybe? Pressure from that, and almost like a burden, even.
It feels like there are bricks weighing down on your chest, and you feel burdened. Does that fit with what you're feeling?
Yeah, I guess I do. I've felt this heaviness and burden before. Like, when I leave my room, it's too much going on at once.
And it seems like that would be overwhelming to feel that.
Yeah, it is. My mom wants me to be more outgoing and do more things. I guess, like my brother, he's always been sociable and popular, and I don't know, it's hard to compete with that or think that I need to show the same personality. But I mean, I don't know, it's hard for me to do that sort of things. I just want to tell my mom, I'm not Jason, you know, I probably can't be like that.
It sounds like you don't like when your mom puts pressure on you. And I want to be open and transparent in our relationship here. When you said that, I sort of had an image come up in my mind of a small boy in the corner who's really afraid to go out and experience different things because of this pressure that you feel from others.
Yeah, I guess that's interesting. I want to try to be more sociable, but I do enjoy spending time by myself. But I still feel pressure that I need to, I guess try and be more outgoing and more, I guess make more friends, but I don't know, sometimes maybe my mom's right. I mean, what kind of loser just hardly has any friends and never really leaves his dorm room?
It seems like if you don't really have many friends, then that means that you're a loser, but just within our interactions here, you seem very personable and very friendly, and it seems like you'd make someone a really good friend.
Maybe, but my mom's always telling me I need to go out and do more, and it feels like a lot of pressure.
From what we've been talking about, I sort of get a sense that maybe you feel a little hostile towards your mother. Is that right?
Yeah, I guess I am. How horrible is that? I mean, my own mother.
It feels horrible to have these negative emotions towards your mother, but at the same time, here I am trying to do my best. And, you know, my mother's putting all this pressure on me. Is that right?
Yeah, I'm trying to do my best. I mean, I do want more friends, but there's just too much pressure. I don't know. I guess my problem seems to make a little bit more sense now.
Good. By using a focus-oriented approach, it helps Jeremy, I think, come into contact with these emotions on a very basic physical level. And it enables him to sort of access these emotions at a deeper level, which sort of opens up the potential for him to be able to change from within.
I was having a really hard time expressing myself, but focusing on a problem and finding out what was going on in my body allowed me to realize what was going on with me. Dr. Smith helped me put my feelings into words. My life has drastically changed since receiving therapy. I am no longer scared of social situations, and I no longer believe people are judging me. Therapy has helped me to have more realistic perceptions about others. I have accepted that I am a quiet person and enjoy being alone. The pressure I once felt to be popular and have lots of friends is gone. I accept who I am, and I think others accept me for me.